Baby, what are you doing?
I'm gonna take the Starlink down.
Why?
That channel that we watch says it's a dud.
Baby, we've had it for 6 months. It's awesome.
But she said it's a dud.
She's on the East Coast, baby. We're on the West. It works wonderful.
So I don't have to take it down, send it back?
No, don't send it back. Let me go back to work, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
You said it's a dud. It doesn't
It's not
work.
a dud.
I don't know.
Hi guys, welcome back to Riders in the Storm. Listen, we've been hearing a lot of chatter. I've seen a lot of stuff out on YouTube and the internet about how Starlink is not everything that it's cracked up to be. In fact, one channel even went so far as to call it a dud. And one of our other favorite channels, which we look to all the time for a lot of really good information and some great entertainment, KYD, says it's at best a great backup for them. Wow. A lot to unpack on this episode of Riders in the Storm. We've had Starlink since January of this year, 6 months. The good, the bad, and the ugly coming up next on Riders in the Storm.
Riders on the storm. Riders on the storm.
Hello, fellow inmates. Oh, sorry. Welcome back to Riders in the Storm. Hey, we have heard a lot of chatter and seen more videos than ever before about Starlink, and it really boils down to some common sense. So I wanted to talk to you about it on this particular vlog because we enjoy it so much. I'm not affiliated with them in any way. I don't get anything from Starlink for doing this, but I just wanted to talk about it, and I'm looking over here because I got to refer to some notes because there's a lot to unpack. But I want to first say that Elon Musk co-founded a company called PayPal. I don't know if you knew that or not, which they eventually sold, I believe, in 2001, something like that, to eBay for $1.5 billion. Which Elon used took 180 million, if the news that I read about it is correct, and partnered with started SpaceX and partnered with NASA for a lot of different missions. And that's where he really started making some headway with the rockets and the different systems. And I don't know if you've seen some of the things that they are working on and that they have developed are just out of this world, pun intended. In fact, for the first time, I believe in history, they have sent SpaceX's civilian team up to the space station, which I thought was an incredible little sidebar there for you. He also invested, and it's important that we talk about this for where I'm going with the future of Starlink. He invested in $30 million in a little company called Tesla. Two other gentlemen out of California. Eventually, he took over that company and became the, I believe, the CEO, Chief Operating Officer, which almost failed a couple of times. Tesla did in its history. And once in 2008 for funding, and there's a pretty cool story about how Elon Musk kept Tesla going by getting a hold of his sales team and asking them to recontact all the people that have made a commitment to the Tesla car to purchase it, to bring in more money to keep the company afloat. So right now it's a $1 trillion company, and it has 2.5 million electric cars on the road. And there has been, through their history, a ton of people that, I can read article after article about people saying that the company is going to fail, and yet it's still here. And I'm telling you that because we got to give Starlink some time to develop. It's only a 3 or 4 year old company. It's a baby, and right now they have 2,400 satellites in orbit. but their plans are to have as many as 42,000 orbiting the Earth. And those are low altitude. They're only up, I think it's about 300. I'm looking at the sky, see if I can see them. It's about 350 miles up. And that's enough for them to stay in orbit and not just become space junk. And so we got a long ways to go. There's a couple of, as I mentioned in the early part of this, there's a couple of people, one of them that we kind of really have admired, kind of got us involved in, along with Less Junk, More Journey, and a couple others. Keep Your Daydream, KYD. And Mark is like a personal look, if you will, of Starlink and what it means to him and Trish in their travels. And that's really good. He gives some really good information. But what kind of got me, compared to us, which we're very, very small compared to him, but what I thought was interesting was how he talked about it. It would probably be a backup for him. And he shows what we have already done. We have ours on a pole. He talks about putting it on a pole in that particular vlog. But he really gets down to the point where he's trying to put it out on the street in different places to get clear. You've got to have a clear view of the northern sky. And so for that reason, and because he's on the East Coast, and this is important, it's a lot more densely populated on the East Coast. And now that Starlink is opened up for RVers to get it and sending them out like crazy, people on the East Coast are finding that they're deprioritized. And there's another channel that you just have to become familiar with. It's called RV Miles, if you're not already. He's growing. I understand why. It's like watching a specialized newscast for the RV industry. Incredible channel, and we have already gotten some great information on it. And he has even more than Mark does, a in-depth, detailed explanation of the company of Starlink and some of the pitfalls. The third company, which referred to Starlink as a dud, is, I believe, also on the East Coast. This person goes into a ton of information background. I believe even how you can cancel. It's just not for them. But the truth of the matter is, they're calling Starlink a dud at this point in time is a little premature. That would be like calling Dish Network and DirecTV duds, because they have the same thing. You got to have a clear view of the sky. You've got to be able to park in a place where you can get a clear view of the north sky. If there's trees in the way, if there's buildings, if there's any other obstacles. And what we've tried to do wherever we go is we pull out the app on our phone and basically open it up and show, or go to the Starlink app and scan the sky. We'll go someplace we think, wow, that looks like a really cool place to park, and we'll pull out the app and scan the sky. It'll come back and tell you, hey, this is probably a good place for you to get your Starlink set up. So that's super important. But it's a growing company. They have 2,400 satellites up. They plan on having as many as 42,000. They will dominate the internet industry as long as you can get a clear view of the northern sky. So on the East Coast, I've heard people say they have a really hard time with that. Some people are just putting it on the roof, or they don't try to put it on a telescoping pole like we have. But there's another little part of this, and Mark alluded to it in his a little bit about his Airstream, when he talked about they're in right now the stages of getting some serious solar on top of the roof. And I think what he's going to find, if he wants to get into those real rural areas and some unique places and take his Airstream with his solar, and the only reason why you'd have that much solar on your roof is so that you can use it for power. That's exactly what we do. We have 1,800 watts on our roof, a couple of solar systems, and the Battleborn batteries. And that enables us to, wherever we park, I mean, even on cloudy days, I get enough solar power that I can do anything that I need to. And that, in order to get that, I can't park in the trees. I mean, some of these forests are beautiful. I can't put my rig in the trees and get the solar that I need. So it kind of goes hand in hand. That's where it really struck me, where I needed to do this vlog about it. we have to have it for us to use our solar, so we don't have to run generators all the time, so we don't have to plug into shore power or something like that. We use solar, and we're using solar probably 90% of the time now. Even on cloudy days with our system, I sometimes get enough power. I don't even have to turn on a generator, and we've become accustomed to it. Now, Starlink is the same thing. I can't put my rig into the trees somewhere in a real beautiful place, tucked underneath all that stuff, and get Starlink necessarily. So the two go hand in hand. I hope that makes sense to you. On RV Miles, I have to say that he is the best. He puts out some extremely valuable information, top notch, every time I've watched him. When face it, KYD does as well, but they're more personalized, what they experience as they travel, and they do give a lot of information. I mean, if it wasn't for Mark, I never would have understood the first time I felt the death wobble in my Ford truck. I went into full-scale panic till I watched one of his vlogs. Incredible guys, both of them. The third person I'm not going to refer to is a little bit too negative for me, but Starlink is getting there. Their customer service is lacking. They're a new company. They're only a few years old. Their plans are tremendous. They'll eventually have a RV satellite that you can use going down the road. I mean, come on. As long as you got open sky again, you can work in your Class A or whatever going down the road. So, thanks for watching this. If you have any questions, excuse me, you can email us at ridersinthestorm2@gmail.com, or put some comments down in the comments. I'll try to leave as much information as I can in the description about what I went over. But thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy some of the animations that I put up. I was just going to put them up and talk over them, but I thought this was something I need to look you in the eye and tell you about. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time on Riders in the Storm. Oh, wait! Before you go, I just wanted to walk you through this Starlink where we actually can check for obstructions. I've talked about this on some other, or one of our previous vlogs. But basically, we go out somewhere where we think we can park. We pull out the our cell phones and we go to the Starlink app and we do this. We basically check for obstructions. So you just click on this little button right here where it says check on obstructions. And we point it up at the sky and basically go through the process. And this is an actual one that we're doing. I like to call it the Pac-Man because it just basically pulls in all these I guess these are satellites floating in the sky, and you gather them in for a little bit, and then it processes them and lets you know if you're in a good location. So this is us standing on the ground. This is not even with the telescopic pull up. It's just us standing on the ground pointing at the sky to make sure we're in a good spot. Okay, so now it's going to evaluate this. I've sped this up because it takes a little bit of time, a few minutes, and I sped it up so you could see the results. But basically it processes this and then it tells you, it'll come up and say, hey, this is probably a good place for Starlink. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you on the next vlog.